Hello, everyone. This is Miss Kit. I would like you guys first to go to your classroom and you're going to find the assignment that's called podcast. And it was the Marginalized Group Podcast, Hyperdoc. And some of you guys had a question of what that exactly meant, the Hyperdoc. And the Hyperdoc is all the items on your checklist here and all the steps that we completed throughout the time of your research and gathering information for your actual podcast. So that is the Hyperdoc. And I wanted to then go over some due dates with you, the ones that we've already finalized and should be completed by this point. The first one we did together in class, we looked at the different types of articles and websites and sites that have either accurate or inaccurate information. And we used something called the CRAP lesson to determine if it was credible or not credible. And then we had the second one, which was our problems research, which was due on March 10th. We had the solutions research, which was due on March 11th. And then we had the outline for the podcast, which was due on March 12th. You should have also done the podcast sample evaluation draft. However, if you did not complete that portion, which was just looking at different podcasts and evaluating them, I will offer you extra credit if you do complete that. So I'll show you what that looks like. It is step 5. So step 5 right here says, click on the link and evaluate at least one or two of the podcasts. If you did not like any of those podcasts, you can definitely use one of your own and just link in the podcast that you used just for me to look at it and review it, because these ones aren't the best, but they were a starting point for us. So if you do want extra credit and you do know of some podcasts out there, just go ahead and evaluate them and I'll honor that extra credit. The next step, which was step 6, I'm going to go back up to the dates things are due. This is where it has changed a little bit. So you can see that the draft podcast, it is actually due on Friday, March 20th, which is this week. And then also on March 20th is the draft for the rhetorical device integration. These two items are things that you should be working on tonight and tomorrow night. I would like you to finish it by Friday before midnight so that you can submit these two items into your classroom assignment so that I can just verify and give you some of the points that you need to complete, because all this part up until this 1 through 6 is 50 points in your grade book. So please make sure that you are attempting to finish all this part. And I am offering a Zoom tomorrow at 11 o'clock, just in case you have questions or concerns about parts of the items that are due this Friday. So let me go ahead and show you where the drafting takes place for number 6. So if you scroll down again to step 6, you're going to see that it says draft your podcast script here. Keep in mind that you are required to integrate your rhetorical strategies. So here you are going to start typing into your podcast. So you can see that you can add more space and draft your whole entire podcast right here. And I have already started making comments on your specific podcast. So I did say, okay, this part looks good, or you need to complete this part for step 4 if you do not have your thesis or your claim or your evidence. And if you did not do step 6, I definitely put a comment like this needs to be completed. And the same thing for the rhetorical strategies that you want to incorporate. The rhetorical strategies are things like repetition and rhetorical questions and items like that. So if you do need some extra support there, please make sure that you go to the Zoom tomorrow for that.